entertainmentbuddha.com.
May the Force be with you, my friends. Matt Heywood here for entertainmentbuddha.com to continue our video series on how Carrie Fisher's untimely death will affect Star Wars Episode 8 and 9. Before we begin, though, R.I.P. Carrie, we love you and miss you. May the Force be with you always. Alright, so in the first part of this video analysis series, I went over 4 methods that could be used to honor her General Leia character's passing or torch passing in those films. Now I'd like to cover a few fanboy plot moments that we may never see in 8 and 9 due to Fisher's death, and how the story group will have to account for it for her Leia role. 2 of these moments have been reported to have been previously planned for Episode 8 and 9, so again, spoiler warning, just in case my rants become reality. The first obvious moment we will miss, or possibly see an altered version of, is Leia's reunion with Luke. This is rumored to be a legit moment, and it makes sense, so there's a chance we will see it in full still if it happens in 8, but if it was set for 9, it will have to be changed to 8, or possibly scrapped altogether. This would be unfortunate, as this is a moment I've been waiting for since 7, 8, and 9 were first announced, so hopefully this moment remains intact or edited down to make sense for the inevitable rewrites. Lucasfilm and Disney simply have to have the Space Twins meet again on screen, so hopefully this was already shot and doesn't need any editing. The potential dialogue alone gives me chills to think about what these 2 siblings could say to each other in regards to all of the gray area plot points we learned about in Episode 7. Namely, how Luke's new Jedi Order all but crumbled at the hands of his nephew and Leia's son. But there's also the inevitable talks about the loss of Han, and how all 3 lost touch after Ben Solo went rogue. The second moment may not be so obvious, but it too is reported to be a legit moment in Episode 8 or 9 scripts, and it is a meeting between Leia and her son, Ben Kylo Ren Solo. This, to me, is a scene that if not shot in Episode 8 will be scrapped in whole due to Fisher's death. I'm not sure if fully CGI Leia could pull off a believable high-level emotional scene with Adam Driver, so this is a moment that may get scrapped or watered down if it was to happen in Episode 9. Personally, I feel this could be one of the biggest tragedies outside of Fisher's actual death. I think a scene between mother and estranged son who happens to be one of the worst people in the galaxy while she's one of the most righteous is a thing of beauty. The emotions that would be experienced by both parties has me nearly welling up with tears just thinking about it. The conversation could also shed more light on Supreme Leader Snoke, who Leia clearly knows about based on her dialogue in Episode 7. So this meeting between parent and child could answer many questions about Kylo's turn with the help of Snoke's pestering. Who knows, maybe Kylo would be turned good with the help of Leia. There's just so many ways this moment could have played out. So while a version of it may make it into the final films, I just see no way for the writers and directors to faithfully honor this supposed epic meeting between solo Skywalkers. The third moment also deals with one of the main characters from Episode 7, and that is Rey. I really don't think Rey is Leia's kid, that would have been too hard not to notice in 7, but there's a chance to relate it if Rey's Luke's. Either way, General Leia and Rey would surely meet again, and probably in a much more in-depth capacity in 8 and 9, so this moment will surely be altered or cut altogether. It's just another potential tragic outcome of Fisher's very sad passing, because these 2 women are power players in the new trilogy, so one would have to think that they would have had some sort of reunion, or possibly even a mission together in 8 or 9. Damn. The fourth moment again revolves around character interactions, and the characters in question are Poe, Finn, and Chewy. Chewy with General Leia again is a given, but considering he's off with Rey, I'm not sure he'll be leaving her on Ahch-To with Luke so he can return to the Resistance anytime soon. This could impact his interactions with Leia in 8 or 9, so they'll either be cut or watered down to account for the loss of Fisher. This is sad considering his bond with her and the fact that the 2 of them have been in Star Wars from the get-go, so it just wouldn't feel right if these 2 didn't get to have one last exchange before either passes on. I'm lumping Poe and Finn together because I think they'll be buddy-buddy in 8 and 9, so they would naturally interact with General Leia in some form or fashion. Poe especially, considering that he's Leia's top ace and a clear power player in the Resistance, but I think Finn has a major role in the Resistance in the next 2 films too, so naturally he'd cross paths with the General again at some point. I'm actually more interested in a scene between Finn and Leia because I think their conversation could provide a few cool moments as she passes her wisdom and experience down to the next generation of freedom fighters. Fisher's passing, and therefore Leia's probable passing, will leave a major impact on the Resistance, so these 2 bros will surely have to have some sort of interaction with the boss before she's killed off in the films. Who knows? Maybe one of them will become the new de facto leader of the Resistance. General Finn sorta rolls off the tongue. The 5th and final moment is more of a pipe dream from a fanboy like myself. What if at some point in 8 or 9, Leia finally had to tap into her Skywalker DNA in full and bust out her own Force moves? We all know she has them, and while she hasn't been trained herself to use them, she's a freaking Skywalker, so it's not like she lacks midichlorians. God, I can't believe I just said that. Thanks, George. Imagine her dueling with Kylo in a game of mental Force chess, or General Leia teaming up with her brother Luke to do something epic with the Force. I don't think these scenarios were that far-fetched when Carrie Fisher was still with us, but now that she's not, I think any fan service moments like this were probably saved for Episode 9, so they'll more than likely be scrapped or heavily rewritten, effectively sucking most of the awesome out of them. You can't tell me seeing Luke, Leia, and Rey all forced up fighting the First Order wouldn't make you the happiest Star Wars fanboy in the universe. Oh well. We'll just have to bide our time to see what the Lucasfilm and Disney brain trust comes up with. We will know sooner than later about how Leia's role in Episode 8 plays out, but we will probably never know the full scope of the changes unless they make the home release. Even worse is what we may not see play out in Episode 9 due to Fisher's passing. Again, the loss of human life is way bigger tragedy than the loss of a fictional character, so I'm not trying to be insensitive, but as a lifelong Star Wars fan, it's hard not to wonder what could have been if she lived, or what will be now that she has passed. Thanks for watching. As always, you can make yourself a better geek one post at a time by hitting up entertainmenttobuddha.com on a daily basis. May the Force be with you, always.